Okay, so episodes like this of Dragon Ball Super definitely feel as though they have, to a certain extent, the soul of Toriyama in them, where it has that weird and wacky comedy that you got in the beginning of Dragon Ball, and, things of that nature, the silly jokes, the goofy jokes, and whatnot. But then it also, to a certain extent, still tries to stay that Z element that people love with, the epic explosions and everything. So I think it was trying to do a combination of that, but definitely it felt very Toriyama-centric. I mean, Vegeta and Goku in fucking aprons, some of their training, even though it wasn't really the training portion, but them having to, change Beerus' sheets and shit like that. That feels more Toriyama-like than ever. So I don't know if every now and then they ask him, like, hey, what would you do for this? Or what would you do for that? Because we know, let's be real, Toriyama ain't sitting there all day with Toei Animation saying, yes, I have this amazing idea. They just probably get, like, an idea here or there from him. And it really felt like Toriyama with this episode, the majority of it, the silly stuff, Goku having to take a piss and everything. It was like, this is what Toriyama likes to do. But I'll be real here, to be honest with you, the characterization of Vegeta, I am so back and forth with it. I mean, sometimes I'm kind of like forgiving of it simply because I understand that he really wants the training, but in this episode, I mean, the coochie coo, the way he was talking just so that he'd get Beerus to lay back down and having, I forgot what it was salmon or something like that. Oh, here you go, Beerus. Like, I'm like, when the fuck would Vegeta do shit like this? It's just so fucking out of here. Goku, he's done the most silliest things of all. He is Goku. He is a silly motherfucker, but he'll get serious in a second. Vegeta is like, this is almost as if he's a whole new person. Honestly, it feels as though it's like, how can you take Vegeta, and this isn't in any bad way, but how can you take him serious after seeing him in a fucking apron this episode? I mean, changing bed sheets, wearing a fucking apron, trying not to wake somebody up because they're gonna get fucked up. Like, Goku and Vegeta in this episode, just comedy galore. Training portions that were pretty interesting was when they had to lift the weights and stuff like that, and the ground kept on evaporating, and although it felt like a Super Mario level or something like that, at the very least it felt a little bit more serious, and likewise with the ending blast that Beerus threw. So there was some serious bits in there as well, and that's what I'm referring to when I say that this episode had like a combination of the shit Toriyama wants to do as far as like just silly shit, aprons and changing bed sheets, but then also something a little bit more serious of like lifting up heavy weights and, going really fast while the ground evaporates, stuff like that. So it was a combination of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, which is what Dragon Ball Super really tries to be. And I've noticed that, like, with the first early episodes and stuff like that, and now this, it's like, it's giving you wackiness, but then at the same time still giving you epicness, which is what Dragon Ball Z should have been a little bit more like. I felt like they cut out a lot of the comedy in a sense, and Dragon Ball had that, but Dragon Ball Z didn't, and Dragon Ball Super is bringing that back. This episode as well crashed into the Resurrection F stuff, so we're currently now entering the Resurrection F arc with the ending of, like, Whis stepping in the poop and that stuff, those conversations towards the end of the episode, so we got to see that. But it's interesting to see as well, it's not completely doing Resurrection F, because at the end of this episode, we see the female-looking Whis and the fat Beerus-looking motherfucker, so things is not exactly like Resurrection F, and this is where I feel hopefully the anime is going to take a turn from just being a direct adaptation with small, very minuscule changes, like, how they did the ship instead of it being on an island or whatever the hell it was. I forget what it was in the movie of Battle of Gods. Now they're taking bigger and grander changes, like the manga, with having these two new mysterious characters, which has really got me excited because, again, I've seen Battle of Gods, I've seen Resurrection F, so getting new content, new characters is what's making this different from those movies. And I mean, seeing Frieza's spaceship and these two motherfuckers blowing up a planet like nothing, like, definitely giving them a really nice looking start for two mysterious seemingly villains. So really good stuff there. And overall, the episode, it was a wacky one. It was good in a sense of filling in more gaps as far as like Goku and Vegeta's training. Very interesting to note though, and this is something that I thought that the episode really brought forth as well, is Vegeta is probably ahead of Goku at this point, which it was in the movie announced, and I think that's why they omitted that from the anime, that Goku said for a split second, Vegeta, you passed me, and now seemingly he passed him yet again, so Goku's like a step behind Vegeta, which is interesting because it's never been that way. So I don't know if Dragon Ball Super is taking liberties of trying to change things where it's not, Vegeta left in the dust with Goku being high glory and everything. Maybe it's going to be a little bit different. That's kind of cool to know because Vegeta deserves it. I mean, the guy works so fucking hard, and it sucks sometimes that it's kind of like with Dragon Ball Z, that no matter how hard Vegeta tries, he could just never surpass Goku's gifted, power that ascends beyond belief. So it's cool that with Dragon Ball Super, it's kind of changing that. So with all that being said, for the most part, fine episode. The art here and there was wonky, and Vegeta's characterization, I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, the characterization we got in the manga is completely gone, and again, that is attributed to a couple different things, but nonetheless, he's not the Vegeta we once knew. I'll never look at him the same way again after seeing him in a fucking apron changing bed sheets. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. What did you think about seeing Goku and Vegeta in aprons? How did you feel about that? What do you think about those two new mysterious characters that look similar to Whis and Beerus? And your overall thoughts of the episode. The art, again, at times was a little wonky. The animation looked smooth sometimes, and the art looked good sometimes. Kind of felt like a mix-up of different animators, to be honest with you, throughout the episode. Yeah, about a 6 to a 6.5 for this episode. It was fine, but that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.